Hey everyone, welcome back to Watch and Carry. So in this episode, we're going to be covering the heel lift dismount and what I've done in the last couple of rides I've done to make it a little bit easier for me. In the instruction manual for OneWheel, they even put there in print that the heel lift dismount is considered a little bit more advanced than the simple stop if you have a pint, and a little bit more advanced than the 2-foot jump off. So one of the problems, or one of the reasons why they consider it more advanced is, the way I ride is with my the toes hanging off a little bit on the rear and the heel on the leading foot. This is the front, a little bit hanging off the front of the board. And so one of the problems or challenges you have with heel lift is that for a moment, you are putting your foot like this, and a majority of your weight that was on this side of the heel is now transferring to the front. And you can see what that does is it's going to throw the board a little bit to the right side or a little bit to the left if you're riding goofy. And so that's why it's considered a little bit harder to do, because sometimes what happens is people do this too much, they lose their balance and they go over the front of the board, or sometimes they're not able to lift up enough and the board still tilts to the right, and then the sensor here meets the heel, and now both sensors are triggered and the board flies forward while their foot is still on and they were anticipating a stop. In which case your left foot goes all the way this way and then your right foot kind of goes this way. You do a little bit of a split, which is uncomfortable, obviously. So the problem here, as we had mentioned, is how do we counteract that shifting of the weight? Right now I'm balanced. When I go for a heel lift, I'm putting a little bit more of that weight on the right side of the board. How do I counteract that so I don't flip the board over and I feel more secure and balanced? Well, of course, if there's too much weight here, you want to apply a little bit more weight to your left side. So what I've found useful for me is when I come to a heel lift stop, I will of course lift this heel up, but at the same time, I will put more of my weight into the rear heel of my foot. Okay, so what I mean by that is if this, pretend that this is the weight of the ball of my foot and this is the weight of my heel on this rear foot, and then the opposite here, right? So when we go for a heel stop, usually what you do is you just keep this the same and then you lift up here, but now we have more weight on the right side of the board, so the board tips over. So what I do is I lift up here, I keep my foot on the rear flat, but I just shift more of my weight to the heel, like this. So it's almost like I'm counteracting my weight, like this. Okay? So, for example, if my foot was like this, and I'm going for a heel lift, I will do this. This. So you can see that here, my weight is going a little bit more to the left side of the board, while my weight here in the front is going a little bit more to the front of the board. And then by counteracting those two opposing forces, hopefully that allows you to keep your balance a little bit more and makes it a little bit easier to dismount off the board. So let me show you what I mean by that. I'm going to demonstrate a normal heel lift where I don't change any weight distribution here in my rear foot. So I come to a stop and I heel lift, and you can see right now my board is kind of tilting to the right side and I lose my balance and I go forward. Okay, so now on this try, what I'm going to do is now consciously lift this up, but also move more of my weight to my right heel. Okay, so lift up and then heel, and I feel much more balanced getting off. So do it one more time. Okay, we're coming to a stop. There we go. So something that's not very easy to visualize because you can't really see weight shifting on camera. So, but just remember that anytime you have more weight going towards one side, to maintain your balance, you need to counteract that on the other side. So hope you guys find that helpful. If you have any comments or tips down below, please put it there, and I will try to get back to you guys, and I will see you on the next one.